Hey all, this is Eric from psnstores.com coming to you with a video review of the Banner Saga. Just a note, if you want the written version with a bunch of fancy words and all that, you can find it at psnstores.com. For this, I'm just going to go over that written portion and hit you with the highlights. If you like what you see, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and if you can support us, head on over to patreon.com/psnstores and toss us a buck. We really appreciate it. So, this is the Banner Saga. It's one of the latest in an ever-growing list of critically acclaimed games to be released on the PlayStation Network a year or two after their initial release. This game came out in January 2014. A ton of people really liked it. If I could sum it up in a nutshell, I would say that it's basically a Norse Oregon Trail with a strategy RPG combat system. It's also a choose-your-own-adventure simulator, something akin to what all Telltale games do nowadays. To set the stage, the game tells us that the gods are dead, the sun has vanished, and the humans and Varl are maintaining a tenuous alliance in order to stave off the Dredge, who is everyone's enemy. I put about a dozen hours into this game, and I'd say the 2-year wait is definitely worth it, with a few caveats here and there. The art style in the Banner Saga is distinctive, colorful, and altogether excellent. This is a game that has a lot of conversation and traveling scenes, and they're made much more digestible by the fact that Stoic Studios has fantastic artists. Some of the character models, like the giant Viking Varls, are a little similar, which didn't help me in combat, but after the story picks up and the characters are more fleshed out, it's easier to tell who's who. Speaking of the combat system, what's nice about it is that most of the battles in this game take anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, give or take a few. That's a pretty nice sweet spot for a strategy RPG game. Recently I played Tactics Ogre, which has hour-long battles, and for me personally, that is too much of a drain on the rest of the game. So the Banner Saga wins in the fact that it has relatively short, but definitely depth-filled combat sequences. Combat takes place on a square grid. Each battle is a little bit different in how you set up based on the situation, which is a pretty nice touch. Each character has similar stats like strength, armor, willpower, break, etc. The most important ones are strength and armor. Armor blocks strength attacks, and strength doubles as your character's health. Willpower can be used to boost basic attacks or to cast special techniques. When attacking an enemy, the simple math you have to do is your strength minus enemy's armor equals total damage. So now you have this combat system where the balance beam tips back and forth as you have to juggle between attacking an enemy's armor and making him more vulnerable, or attacking his strength/health and making him less powerful on the battlefield. It's a fairly simple combat system, but the amount of depth really surprised me. I often found that if my attention was drifting from the game, I would lose units or the entire battle. What's nice is that in most cases, losing a battle isn't the game over state that it is in most tactics games. This grants a more realistic, lingering sting to defeat and doesn't stop the flow of the game. Winning a battle or completing good deeds gives you renown, which is the experience-like currency used to promote your units. The only drawback I found in the combat sections is that the UI is a bit clunky. In more than a few situations, I found myself frustrated trying to accomplish a simple act. I would want to do one thing, but inadvertently find myself doing something different when I press the button. If you want to get the most out of the Banner Saga, know that this is a game with a lot of required reading. I wasn't totally aware of that before booting the game up, and I have to admit that the game put me to sleep once or twice as I was trying to get into the story. That all changed a little bit an hour or so in, but for my taste, it's a bit slow going at first. One of the things I do remember about this game's initial release was all the people talking about how drastically they felt and how deeply remorseful they were to lose certain characters in their party. I can't say I felt quite as deep as they did throughout this game, but there was maybe one or two decisions where I was really like, oh boy, that kind of sucks. Overall, the Banner Saga is a welcome addition to the burgeoning PlayStation Network library. If you haven't played it, now would be a good time to check it out. Otherwise, you may be able to hold out until the sequel releases. This is Eric from psnstores.com, giving the Banner Saga a renowned 4 out of 5 stars. If you like this or any of our other YouTube videos, subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to support what we do in general, pop on over to patreon.com/psnstores. Your patronage helps keep our podcast 100% ad-free. Thanks for watching, and remember, a clan well fed is a clan less dead.